Welcome to the Vocal Lab podcast with your hosts Shelby Rollins and Jason Catron, bringing you the best from the music industry. Get ready for first-class conversations packed with exclusive techniques and transformative insights, all designed to help you reach your top note.
Hold on. Let me freshen
Shelby.
it out. Hey. Well, I guess we could go ahead and start. I was in the middle of putting on lip gloss. And you're in the middle of a burp.
Hey, Shelby.
Hi, Jason.
How are you?
I'm good.
Same. You didn't ask, but I just told you.
I'm glad to know. I'm glad to know that you're good.
Yes, the world is spinning, and I'm breathing, so things are good.
And you're not flying off of it while it spins.
That's true, too.
Isn't that kind of wild? It's like out there just spinning in space, and we're just, because of gravity, we're like here.
That is a really...
You can't feel the giant tilt-a-whirl.
Isn't it funny how many things we don't think about that actually have to happen for us to exist?
Yeah, like breathing. Yeah.
We don't ever think about breathing
and
until we're
sleep,
short of breath.
And we still stay alive.
That's the only time I think about breathing is when I, like stuffy nose or something, I have to breathe out in my mouth, and it's like
so
to
annoying.
Sleep, it's so hard.
Not funny as a vocal coach. The only time I think about breathing.
I know, right? Well, that's a funny point because, so much of growing up, it was all about breath, the way I was taught.
Oh, yeah.
All about your breath, all about your support.
That's kind of the classical way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's one of the things I rarely talk about.
Yep.
It's
like if it comes up.
Yeah, if it comes up, or if it's necessary. Some people in today's world, all of our young singers are learning to sing very small and breathy.
Breathy.
Right? And so a full connected or big hard mixed tone is not even in their realm of understanding yet.
Yeah.
And trying to pull it out of them, it can be really challenging. And so sometimes with that, I will have to focus a little bit on like, okay, you got to support this thing. Let's go old school here. Let me show you how I was taught.
Yeah.
And I just poke them in the gut, pull their hair.
Kind of like...
That's how I was taught. Did you know that?
I can't wait to have that trade-off session we're going to have here soon.
Sister Barbara used to do that to me.
Well, was she a nun?
Yeah.
Because I remember...
No, it was my sister Barbara.
Oh.
Yeah, she was a nun.
I thought you said... Sister Barbara, not
did.
My sister.
No, it's not my sister.
You are talking about a nun.
I'm talking about a nun,
okay.
Sister Barbara.
That's your sister's name is not Barbara.
No.
I remember from what is that movie with Whoopi Goldberg? She was a nun.
Sister Barbara.
Sister Act. And she pokes the girl, the nun in training girl.
Yeah.
She pokes her in the tummy, and she's like. And she goes, that's an A with attitude. Except I did not just say
that's the way I was taught.
Yeah. I used to think for years, that's how I'm going to sing loud.
If I didn't get the high notes, she'd pull my hair. She'd no, higher. She had a ruler. She taught me guitar,
you can go to jail for that now.
I know. She had a little guitar too, she taught me guitar. That little guitar downstairs. And yeah, she'd whack with that ruler if I didn't play it right.
My brother this is so funny. My brother had a piano teacher I never took from her because I was horrified and I refused. I was like, I ain't going to Miss Pettis. My brother had this piano teacher, may she rest in peace, named Miss Pettis, who if he would play anything wrong, she was this teeny tiny, very, very old woman, and she'd just go, shall I kill you now or later? And he was like, ah! I think there was some other borderline abusive things that she would do in piano lessons. I was like, Mom, don't ever send me there.
Bring some of that back in some of our sessions.
No, maybe here's the thing. We are a little soft, right?
We are a little soft.
I see all these different memes and stuff about you're crying about this? Do you know how my parents raised me? You are getting off so easy.
We are really soft in our coaching in ways.
Yeah.
Because, we know some coaches who are very they're kind of negative reinforcement in their style.
Yeah.
Which I don't really love that.
No.
I don't think it's a great way to learn.
But you got to be honest.
We're honest.
Yeah.
It's not that we're not honest.
And you got to push on the bruise. I shared that saying with you
we
earlier
laugh about
today.
this a lot still, how Brett would always get students in headlocks.
Headlock. Oh my gosh.
It wasn't painful, but it was more of it was always a learning point.
Yeah.
Almost always.
Yeah.
But, just loves him some jujitsu and couldn't resist.
He sure
I
does
need a little thing like that. I don't know what it could be.
Yeah. I don't know what your thing is.
I'm a little soft with my martinis and...
I don't know. That's hard liquor.
It is hard liquor.
What are we talking about today? We were just talking about this, but our banter, it does, took off to a weird place.
We are talking about...
Pay to play.
Pay to play.
Should you do it?
It has been a part of society since the beginning days. It
Yes.
worked its way into music early on because music was founded by and large primarily when it exploded by who? Well, not
Rockefeller.
well.
I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
He was a powerful dude.
Well, let me rephrase that. At one point in time, in the middle of the 1900s, the mafia took over the majority of the music business.
I did not know
Yes.
that. Okay.
And so there was just so much money to be made, and it was easy to hide and move money. That's why anything like that, you're going to have organized crime being a part of it. So yeah, a lot of the labels early on were owned by or run by a lot of people who had mob connections. And so that's where the whole payola thing started to come in.
Okay.
So back in the day, you had payola, right? Where you would record a song, release it, your album, your record, your label would go to this radio station that I'm the DJ of and be like, I'm the DJ at, top station in LA. Oh, you play this song, we'll give you a week in Hawaii. Or, hey, play this song, 20,000 under the table. Nobody has to know. That became a thing. The government got onto it. Then they made it illegal for payola. And so over time, even as things happen not even attached to organized crime, we live in a capitalistic society, and one thing that always speaks is
Money. The dollar.
And so, people are always trying to find a way, how can I pay for this to speed up? And so naturally that works its way into music, and it's still there today in the industry in a lot of ways. And so, yeah, is it good or is it bad? I think that's capitalism itself.
Or it just is, right?
Or it just is. I think that's
neutral?
it.
Is it morally corrupt? Is it morally positive? Or is it just morally neutral? And I think it probably depends. It's probably case sensitive.
I think it depends. We hear
you
about
need
it.
to pay for, and that's like part of just legitimate. People need to make money.
Case in point, pay to be on this tour and open up.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That helps the artist pay for the tour. It gives you a spot in front of people. That makes sense.
Just the other day on the Grammys, that just happened. Chappell Roan used her 30 seconds in her thank you speech to basically say, hey, labels, you need to pay us more, like a livable wage, and give us health insurance. Yeah. The end. Thank you for my Grammy.
And that was her
great. Speech. Yeah. People were like, yeah. Because it is true. It's like the artists have to live, right?
No, totally.
But when you get into the nitty gritty, there's all these like specific things, like you can pay for likes, views, follows, especially in social media. What do you think about that? I don't like it. I don't mind ads. I don't mind boosts, but I want organic reach. So if plus the algorithm changes a lot, right? Actually, I had somebody hit me up the other day on Instagram. Since my account grew a substantial amount in 2024, I get hit up a lot from so-called social media experts or marketing agents, quote-unquote agencies. Everybody and their mom is like a social media expert.
I'm always like, do people answer these things? Do they get business from that? They must.
I know. Well, I get cold called all the time from them. And it's usually like, hey, I saw that you had this like really great content. But
they actually call you?
No. I just mean like usually in a
DM. I've never had anyone call me.
And be like, your stuff is,
media.
Oh my gosh, no. Your stuff is great, but I noticed some things that I could tweak. Can I just send you a little free thing of suggestions or whatever? Well, anyway, this one person the other day saw a post that I had my social media manager had just made live. So it had like 150 views at this point. And he was like, watch this. Before, and he screenshot it and sent it to me, and this is after I'd said no thanks, I'm good, and then sent me another after shot of like 20 minutes later. It now had 11,000 views, the same video, and he was like, bibbidi bobbidi boo, baby. And I was like, ew. I didn't like it. Everything, because I had the same number of likes. It was like 20 likes. If I have 11,000 views, that typically means over 100 or 200 likes on a video. And definitely some comments and some engagements and some shares. None of that had changed. It was just views. And I was like, this is fake. This is a bot. And if you're like, fake engagement doesn't actually help somebody make more money. So like, if you're going to buy any kind of engagement on social media, at least buy the kind that's going to help you with your revenue. But that is not the case. Plus views and likes matter way less than like comments and shares when it comes to engagement stuff on the algorithm. And so I'm like, I don't I don't care. Also, how did you even do that? And I blocked this person because I was
that's kind of weird.
That's creepy that you can do that with my video. And I don't know what you did. You played my video on like hyper speed 1,000,000 times so that my views went up or something. I don't know what kind of wizardry it was.
You probably shouldn't have given him your social security number. That's probably where
or
you
my
went
bank
wrong
account
first.
routing number. But yeah, you can buy anything.
Yes.
But what does that get you? Because so much of people's, you can spot it now. It's easy to see, like, that's a bot account, or this post is, like, the reviews are fake. You can tell when the reviews are fake. You know, there's all these tells.
Yep.
And in the long game, I don't think that helps anybody. I think it hurts your reputation.
That's probably by and large true. But I think there's also the argument for when we live in a world of people just look at a number to open the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could still open a door.
It can.
So I think probably...
You got to be shrewd, though.
You got to be shrewd, but I think probably what's more important is what is actually the product or the art, or in our case, the music that you're putting out there. Is it really good or not? Because if it's really good and you're paying to help boost stuff,
yeah, you want to get your foot in the door.
You could probably argue that could be beneficial. If it's not, you're wasting your money.
Here's a question. Do you think people should pay to write with other writers?
Oh.
Because that happens.
It does happen.
Like if you're a new writer and you want to write with somebody like more established, then you got to pay to play sometimes.
I think that's become more common since COVID too, right? When artists were needing to make more money and writers, and so they like, I think that depends. I've always struggled a little bit of paying someone that's also going to own the copyright. That if this is really good. So I think it really, for me, it's like, is this a coaching moment? Are they really mentoring you and coaching you and crafting you into a better writer?
That should be the pitch if you're going to pay somebody.
Pay that.
Yeah.
If you're just paying to be in the room and sit with them because they've had a hit song, I'm not saying it's not worth it, but you're probably not going to get the best song out of them.
Yeah, because they're there for an hourly wage versus to write something great.
Yeah.
And they are taking on a risk of being like, well, I could be using this time to write with somebody else. But if you're going to pay me, I guess I'll write with you. Well, there's like no motivation.
No. I mean, I've definitely had clients that
I don't think they're going to write a hit with somebody that's like a no-name.
No, gosh, no. I've definitely had clients that I've partnered with talented writers to help them write better, and they pay them for that time.
But is that more in like a coaching style? Like, what kind of help?
Yeah, and it depends on the writer, but there was a help aspect to it. And out of that, you also do write a song. So, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with charging people to write with them.
What do you think you shouldn't pay for in this pay-to-play combo?
What you shouldn't?
Yeah.
Bad food ever. So I send it back.
That's why he went to Taco Bell the other day.
Yeah, I didn't send it back. I should have. What should you not pay for? I don't know.
Was that this episode that we talked about Taco Bell? Was there another one? People are like, I don't get the reference.
I don't know that I know.
What are the things you can pay to play for?
We live in America. I think anything's up for sale.
Yes, that's true. Everything's got a price.
And that's
okay.
What
are some of the things we haven't talked about, Carlos, that like you can pay for, and is that a questionable ethical dilemma there in music?
Well, I don't know about like morally dubious, I guess, but I do know that as a session singer, sometimes they will have these days where they will be doing these master class type things, and they invite new aspiring session singers to come in, and they'll pay a fee to be a part of that 1 to 2 day conference. And then what ends up happening from there is that the people who put the events together are contractors, and then because of that, whenever these people reach out, hey, do you have this other singer, then these people who paid to be there get the exposure of maybe making their way into this network that's a really tight-knit community. And sometimes that could be a leg up, but I've also had friends who were trying to get into the session world who said, I refuse to pay to play. I'm not going to pay money to go try to be in that network, but then they miss the opportunity.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair argument, but again, in our culture, we pay for things all the time to have access.
Yeah.
We'll send our kids to this camp because
Or
they
you
have
get to the
access
front of the
to
line.
this team or this athlete or this agent.
It's like Fast Pass at Disneyland.
We join country clubs because I have access to people of influence and money.
I don't think people even know that. Like, until you join a country club, the only reason people join those is for the networking relationships.
Yeah.
It's not because they want to go to the pool.
We pay our politicians
play
to
golf.
vote certain ways. This is the way that this country works.
Right.
And like it or not, that's how it is. And
Yeah.
so I think the best answer to your question is it's not what's right or wrong to pay for. It's, am I getting what I pay for? Am I overpaying? Or am I double paying for something? Especially in this instance, like, you need to be wise if you're paying a songwriter what you're paying them, and they also have ownership of this master. That's up to you to negotiate.
Everything is also up for a negotiation. Right.
Yes. So I don't think there is a right or wrong in any of this. I think it's just be wise, use your money wisely, have clear goals and direction, and
have someone wiser than you that you can ask.
And understand
Should I
that
pay for this? Yeah.
Understand that there is a system and there are players inside of these systems, and there's a network, and you have to tap into it in some way.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you can sit in the back and keep crying for the rest of your life that it didn't work. Or I really get frustrated sometimes when I hear someone say, yeah, I'm going to make it on my own. I'm not going to like engage in the network or anything. I'm like,
nobody
good
is
luck.
an island.
Good luck.
And successful.
Good luck.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's no right or wrong. I think just be wise.
Yeah.
And play the game well.
Play the game.
Bam. Stamp. This was fun.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Today.
Just like Carlos. He's only 5'1", guys.
Oh boy. I love how you're saying it as if you're like 6'4".
I know, right? Well, I am. I'm sitting down. It's hard to tell.
Oh boy.
Okay.
We'll see you hooligans next time.
Next time, Shelby. Thanks for tuning in to the Vocal Lab podcast. Ready to join the top ranks of the music industry? Don't forget to follow and subscribe for more first-class conversations that make the extraordinary your new ordinary. Until next time, keep striving for your top note.